Okay, so in this video I will show you how you can create this type of water simulation. This is going to be a very simple and easy tutorial. If you don't know anything about Houdini, most of the people use this software as a simulation software because the simulation system of this thing, like the software, is very good compared to the other ones. So that's why most of the time you will see in the movies, like big movies, they use this software for their simulations, like water simulation, fire simulation, and all kind of other simulations. But for this one I will show you how you can do these simulations like very easily. If you are new to this Houdini one, you don't have to know anything. If you have zero knowledge about Houdini, you can also do this thing. Basically what you have to do, you have to just create a box node first. So if I just go to frame number 0, I will just play the simulation so that you can see the simulation properly. So this is not the final one, but yeah, this is kind of a step 1 of your fluid simulation if you want to do any kind of fluid. So you can see we are getting all kind of fluid interaction and everything with the character. So the first thing, you need a box node. If you just right click, then you can just search for box. You will get this box node. Then you have to connect this thing to a flip container. You have to just search, right click, and then search flip container, this one, and you have to just connect this thing to this, similar to this one. Then you need a flip collide, this one, and then you need a flip solver. So these 3 nodes are the most important node for your flip, or you can say the fluid simulation. And the box will help you to, or decide you to where you want to do the simulation. So that's the use of the box. And the use of this flip container is to just to give a kind of a container to your fluid simulation. And this flip collide means it will help you to collide your flip simulation with your geometry. So in my case, I'm using this test geometry. You can see there we have a character there, and you will get this character for free within Houdini. If you just search for test geometry, you will see that we have so many things. So for this character you have to just search for crag, this one. So you will get this character. After that, you have to just connect this thing to the last point of your flip collide, because this last point is for collision. And if you're not connecting this thing to this flip collide, the water will not gonna interact with the mesh. So that's why this is the most important part of your, I would say, your flip simulation. If you want to make your flip simulation interact with your object. So after that, you need a flip solver. So flip solver is the main thing that will create this type of points in your simulation. Basically, these are the particles of your flip simulation, and it will help you to get that water simulation. And after this, you need to add a file cache. So the file cache will cache all your flip simulation that you bake in your this file cache folder. This is the kind of the very easiest way to do a flip simulation. And now I will just tell you some settings that you need to change in order to get proper proper flip simulation. So the first thing, you can change the box size and everything there, the size 2.5, and you can see there. So if I just go and if I increase the number of this thing like 10, you can see my box size is increased. So you can just make it up to your scene or up to your thing. For me, I'm just using these settings, and you don't need to change anything in this one. Then we need a flip container. So in the flip container, we need to change the particle separation to 0.003, and you can leave everything like this. Then in the flip collide, you don't have to change anything. The most important thing is you have to turn off the surface collide, and you have to just enable this volume collide, because surface collide will do kind of weird things sometimes, so it's better to use volumes. Then we have a flip solver, that is the main solver of flip simulation. So in the setup one, you don't have to change anything. You will see that we have this PS value. You will not gonna see this value by default. You have to create this. You have to just click on this setting button, and then you will get this type of layout. So in this one, you can see I have a PS, this one. So you just need to add a float vector, and you have to drag drop this thing at the bottom of your start frame, and then you can just rename this thing to PS1 or something like that, and then you have to just accept and save. So you will get this type of PS value, and then you have to just connect this one to your flip container to this particle separation. Right click, or not this one, sorry. You have to just go to your this one, right click, copy parameter, go to your flip container, and then paste relative reference. So whenever you change your value to this thing, it will automatically change the value of your particle separation there. So now you will think that why you need to connect this thing, because you need the value of this thing to be same as this one. So that's why we are doing this thing. You can also do manual thing, like manually put the values. You don't have to do this copy paste. And the waterline option, so basically the waterline will help you to decide your water levels of your stuff. If you increase and decrease this thing, this particle will go up and down. So that's the main use of this thing. Then we have the collision. You can make this thing to particles, and the value of this thing should be 0.01. And then in the fluid behavior, you can make this thing flip, and then you can leave everything like this. In the visualization, make sure that you turn off the show collision and the point as a sphere, and you can just enable this thing color speed, this one, so that you can see your fluid simulation. This one is kind of baking right now, so if I just click on this one, you can see the color difference in the simulation. Because of this, we are getting this type of color separation. And then we need a file cache. If you do any kind of simulation, it's gonna be kind of very heavy, and it will just eat up all your RAM when you do any kind of simulation in Houdini. So the most ideal way to do any simulation is to bake your simulation, so that it will give you maximum performance in your viewport, and it will be better compared to just to play your simulation. So you always have to bake your simulation. You just need a file cache node. Just right click, and then you have to just search for file cache, and you will get this file cache node. You have to just connect this thing to file cache, and in this one you can, it's not compulsory, but you can make this one explicit. You can just leave this thing like that, or you can just select your directory where you want to save your cache files, bake files, not cache files, and you can leave everything like this, and then you have to just press save to disk, and after that it will bake everything, and you will get your simulation. Make sure that you properly give your keyframes there, 770 to 350. Then after that, you just need a merge node there, and you have to just connect this thing to this, and then you can enable this. So you can see my geometry, you can see the flip simulation also. So if I play this, you can see there we are getting kind of a real-time performance. And make sure that you enable this button also, this bottom one, because this will enable the real-time preview of your mesh. And then you have to just play this, so you can see. So this is the most easiest way to do any fluid simulation, and this will only applicable, I think, in version 20 Houdini. So if you're watching this thing like right now, 2025, I think it's May, then you can just follow this thing, just 3 node setup. You just need this 3 nodes in order to do flip simulation. So no need to do any kind of complicated graph thing or anything like that. So right now this is very basic. We have to do more step in order to make this thing look better. Right now we are just getting the simulation of your particles. We have to convert this thing to our mesh, then we have to create white water foam, and then we have to also render this one. So I will just try to make everything in parts, so it will not gonna be like very long for a single video or tutorial. So yeah, that's it for this tutorial. I think this will help you. Thank you for watching.